What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So today we're going to take a look and listen to Representative Larson. He's going to be talking about Social Security reform, and it's good to see that he's back on the House floor. He's been speaking up. He's been talking. He's had a few speeches since the incident that he had, about a month ago, and so it's good to see that he's back on track. And anytime I play politicians, generally you're going to have both sides, right? So one side that likes Representative Larson will say, "Oh, this sounds really good," and then the other side will say he's just bashing the other, he's just bashing Republicans. But when it comes down to it, I think most of the viewers that are watching my channel, we're all pro Social Security, and we want to see an expansion to Social Security. We want to see them fix the problems that Social Security has right now. So if there's waste, fraud, and abuse, fix those problems, but also expand the program so you can provide increases for people receiving benefits. Representative Larson is one politician that has been talking about this. He's been talking about it since 2014 is the first time that he introduced the Social Security 2100 Act. And so he is one that is pro-Social Security. You do have some politicians that are not pro-Social Security, and they want to dismantle the program. And so we need to be aware of that. You have some politicians that are saying, you know what? Social Security, we want to privatize Social Security, or at least privatize a portion of Social Security. So let's just give an example. You contribute 6.2%, your employer matches that 6.2%, but instead of contributing 6.2%, maybe you can contribute 4.2% and take 2% and put it in the stock market. And then you'll have a little nest egg set up when you retire. And that sounds good. Some people might look at that and say, especially if you're younger right now and you're working, and say, you know what, yeah, I want to control my money. I don't want to just contribute 6.2% and have that go to Social Security and let them, control it. I want to control it myself. But the only problem with that is you have people who are currently receiving Social Security benefits. And so if you took, instead of the 6.2% that goes to Social Security with the match from your employer, it's only going to be 4.2%. Which means it's going to deplete the trust funds much sooner, which means that overall everyone will see a cut to their benefits if Congress can't reform Social Security. And so, although it might sound good for younger people, for people who are currently receiving benefits, it's not good. It's not going to be good. You also hear politicians talking about eliminating taxes for Social Security benefits. Representative Larson's also talking about eliminating taxes for Social Security benefits. But the difference is that he has a pay-for. He also talked about eliminating weapon GPO. But the difference is he had a pay-for. And so in the Social Security 2100 Act, because you have a pay-for, that means that you can extend the trust fund out longer. One of the arguments against elimination of weapon GPO is there was no pay-for. Okay, now I'm all for the Social Security Fairness Act. I think it's good. But because there's no pay for, we're looking at a situation where the trust funds will be depleted about 6 months sooner than they would normally be depleted because of the elimination of weapon GPO. Now, 6 months, realistically, is not a very long time, but when you're looking at eliminating taxes on people receiving Social Security benefits, now we're looking at 2 to 3 years sooner. And so instead of 8 years, we could be looking at 5 years where the trust funds will be completely depleted, and then we'll see a reduction of about 23%. And so that's what's being talked about right now. You have President Trump saying he wants to eliminate taxes on people receiving Social Security benefits. And so why not listen to Representative Larson talk about his plan? Why not try to implement that plan, because it does have a pay-for? Now, the pay-for some might not be popular because they want to raise the cap on people making $176,100. Actually, right now, it's $400,000 or more, so there would be a donut hole. So people making $176,100, they would no longer have to contribute to pay into FICA. So the situation would be the same until you reach $400,000. Once you reach $400,000, now you're going to have to pay into that payroll contribution again. And so that's the Social Security 2100 Act. So we're going to listen to Representative Larson. Now, as I stated, I know, it gets a little fiery because he's talking about Republicans, and Republicans will talk about Democrats, and it goes back and forth. But ultimately, we have to look at the finish line. What do we want Social Security to look like? Do we want to see cuts to Social Security, or do we want to see an expansion of Social Security? Let me know in the comments below how you guys feel about expansion or cuts. Let me show you guys this clip, and then we'll talk about it on the other end. Here we go.
For 5 minutes. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise today to speak and address the Chamber about the nation's #1 anti-poverty program for the elderly and the nation's #1 anti-poverty program for children. I speak, of course, of Social Security. Social Security is currently under attack by the Trump administration. With just this weekend, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Trump calling Social Security a scam and Mr. Musk calling Social Security a Ponzi scheme. Now, Mr. Speaker, I'm sure, as you know, in your district, you have 209,000 Social Security recipients. 157,000 are retirees, 25,000 plus are disabled workers, 10,000 are widows, 3,678 are spouses, and over 12,000 children. I don't believe that you think that Social Security and the checks that they receive is a scam, or that Social Security is a Ponzi scheme. In fact, in your district, $377 million comes into your district monthly that goes to those individuals. And where do they spend that money? Right back in your district, at the grocery store, at the pharmacy, at the dry cleaners, heating and cooling their homes, paying their rent, their mortgage, putting gasoline in a car. The brilliance of Franklin Delano Roosevelt still lives on. This is capitalism's answer to have a safety net for people who, through no fault of their own, or because they work and ultimately end up retiring, have benefits that they can live on. It's especially more important as people are living longer, that they have these benefits that are currently under siege by an administration who has asked Elon Musk to find $2 trillion in cuts. And where is he looking? He's looking right at your district, Mr. Speaker, in my district, and the 435 congressional districts, on average, who receive $200 million monthly from Social Security. On average, where there are more than 145,000 people per district receive these benefits that go directly back to the local economy. We're looking for 3 Republicans to stand with a unified Democratic Party and Congress to push forward a bill that was last extended in 1971. Richard Nixon was president of the United States the last time Social Security benefits were extended for your constituents in North Carolina, as well as my constituents in Connecticut. It's long overdue. We have a COLA that doesn't work. We have people that continue to work after they receive Social Security that are taxed on their benefits. We've had teachers and firefighters and police officers as well who have been denied benefits. And now, while they're eligible for them, they're not funded. And so that money comes out of the trust fund. And President Trump has now proposed a tax cut for Social Security that's unpaid for, that is over a $900 billion hit to Social Security and all the constituents who receive it. Mr. Speaker, I know you to be a man of goodwill and understand your district and what your people need as well. It's long overdue for the citizens of North Carolina and Connecticut to have their Social Security benefits enhanced, not cut.
Okay, so that was Representative Larson there. You heard him talking about some of the things that I just talked about prior to showing you guys this clip. So mainly he's talking about taxes. So eliminating taxes for people receiving Social Security benefits. This is the talk right now. But if you don't have a pay for, then it is depleting the trust funds much sooner. He talked about weapon GPO, the elimination of weapon GPO, no pay for, it depletes the trust fund much sooner. When it comes to, he was saying like $900 billion is what we would be looking at as the cost for some of these things that they want to implement. So although on one hand, it would be good to eliminate taxes on people receiving Social Security benefits, and it's good that they've eliminated weapon GPO, it's going to really test that trust fund. It's really going to take more money out of the trust fund. So that's something that we should be focused on. Now, another thing that he talked about at the very beginning, just talking about, I don't know if I remember Trump saying that it was a scam, that Social Security was a scam. I do remember Elon Musk saying that it was a Ponzi scheme. I've heard other politicians call Social Security a Ponzi scheme. None of this is helpful when it comes to the expansion to Social Security. Because if you're calling something a Ponzi scheme, you're saying that the system is illegal. And if you're saying the system is illegal, then in most instances, you're going to want to get rid of that system because it is illegal. Now, if you're saying that you need to improve Social Security, I would agree with that 100%. They haven't made any changes to Social Security since 1983. So just think, and I gave this example months ago, you buy a car, you can buy the best car in the world, but if you don't get that car tuned up every once in a while, then guess what? The car is not going to function properly. And so Social Security is the same way. You can have a good program that helps millions and millions of people, but every so often you need to tune it up. You need to take a look under the hood. And they haven't been doing that. And they haven't made any real changes to Social Security. And so that's why the time is now. If you want to make these changes, if you want to eliminate taxes on people receiving Social Security benefits, if you want to address the fact that the trust funds are being depleted, do it now, but reform Social Security and expand the program while you're doing it. And so I want to know what you guys think about all this, so let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.